What's going on? Welcome to the channel, guys. Today we have a fragrance for women from an older house, Estée Lauder. I know I'm saying it wrong, but I could care less. 2019 though. So it's a house that's been around for probably 30 plus years, but this fragrance in particular dropped fairly recently, about 6 years ago, and it is for women. So I think we're in for a treat here because I'm looking at kind of the color combo on the note breakdown and it looked crazy. Like it looked like it was going to be a men's fragrance, but it said women on it and it totally threw me for a loop. Strap up.
Okay, doing it for two. I watch that head move side to side as I let this in into the room. You are on top, let's connect minds. Trying to get into a mood. We gon' be fine. Close up the blinds, no rush. Finish the food.
All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I'm your host for the afternoon. Today from the house of Estée Lauder, 2019 release, we have Azurée for women. And let me tell you why I got shocked when I saw for women. Look at this note profile. Women, are you getting excited about this? Be honest. No. Back to camera. So the reason this appealed to me is number one, because of that. Number two, some people I know rated this very highly. And number three, one thing I've noticed about going into the crates or going from some of these older kind of houses who have been around for generations and generations is the approach to women's perfumery isn't as simple as it is today, where I feel like there's a main divide between natural angelic freshness and natural sweetness, and then this overly sugar spice, everything nice womanhood that's very vanillic, very spicy, and over the top. Women's scents prior to like 2010, I feel, even into the early 1900s, seem to be more experimental with what they deem to be women's scents and profiles. And so you don't just have that. You have women starting to explore greens and herbals and different musks and yet still smelling feminine. But there's other personalities other than sugary sweet and just angelically light and airy. There's more to a woman than that. And when you can make a perfume that showcases that, that's amazing. So another curiosity I had for going into the vintage realm was to explore beautiful women's scents that the industry has seemingly forgotten about, that should be upheld for the sake of preserving creativity in feminine perfumery. That being said, Estée Lauder Azurée. Let's go straight into an initial impressions. 2 sprays there, 1 spray on the skin for good measures. You guys ever seen that guy, that Italian pizzeria from New York that's going crazy right now? Initial thoughts. In the air, I kind of got something nice that I want to get in on. Oh. Whoa. Oh, man. I am so conflicted with this scent because I personally love it, but there's some things I'm going to have to tell you guys to see if it's worth your time. I love when I get a scent I haven't smelled before. So right now I'm sorting through my curiosity versus my appetite. You know what I mean? Women, this is not for girly girls. This is for different women. This is for women who aren't always into pillowy, cloudy, sweet fragrances. This is for women who enjoy perfumery just as much as they do smelling good in the workplace, or for men or whatever. This is green. This is earthy. This is mossy. This is woody. Almost to the extent of smelling like the cross between, and I'm going to lose so many people here, but I'm just being honest. It smells like a masculine, musky, spicy green take on a Christmas tree and a Christmas tree, a lime wedge, and a really good clean bar of either Irish Spring or Lever 2000. This is a fragrance I would more comfortably associate with masculinity, but there is this like undertone of sweetness that I would be really curious to smell it on a woman. You got to be so sure of yourself as a woman. Like, if you're super different as a woman under 30, like there's a girl I want to get on this channel that does a lot of fragrances that women don't talk about that are like really quirky and cool and fun, and different and unique and interesting and just as elegant in their own weird way. I want to bring her on the show because it's a breath of fresh air to see that type of lady in fragrance. I think she's a filmmaker or something. I'm almost curious to smell this on a woman. Like, this might be 30 and up woman's workplace for the woman who doesn't want to smell. She doesn't shop at Victoria's Secret. She doesn't shop at Juicy, and she's not your designery, bubbly chick. This is like a chick who's beautiful in a different way. She has a whole different vibe, a different path. She doesn't like what everybody likes. She needs something to fit her vibe. And I know so many chicks from high school that I used to be friends with that might have been a tattoo artist, might have been into punk rock, might have been into art. A girl was a painter and she painted all this weird stuff and was abstract. This is an abstract feminine scent. There we go. I'm talking out loud to discover some clarity. This is an abstract feminine scent that leans 30 plus, but for an abstract girl who's different and quirky, might really like it. But I think it comfortably leans more in the elegant category just because we're dealing with a lot more traditional notes. Let's switch it up. I'm making love to the track. Look at this. Only 200. This paints the picture decently. So 223 people have rated this fragrance, but they gave it a 4.2 out of 5. So some people are really digging this. Look at this note profile. This is strange, but it's so good though too. Ah, gosh. Okay, citrus is up top, basil and jasmine. So it definitely has this citrusy basil feel, but it's very bitter riney. This is very, very dried fruits riney take on citrus and basil. Middle notes, artemisia, vetiver, and rose. I've never seen this note combo before. Vetiver, basil, but then citrus, then artemisia, but then oak moss. These are such daring notes to combine. And that's what this fragrance feels like. It feels like abstract, but very daring. A confident abstract. Oak moss, patchouli, and amber in the base. And it truly does dry down to a very heavy, like 70% oak moss, then a 30% backbone of amber, patchouli, and citrus. I do get a twinge of basil. This is a dried fruit riney citrus, herbal, dark earthy, yet bright elegant brush on a dark earthy take. This is hard for me to describe, guys. Ignore the rose. It's not there. The jasmine might add to the freshness, but you won't smell it. The artemisia is definitely there. It's just pushing as hard as it can for dear life against that oak moss. I'm drawn to it for reasons I can't really describe. What do they say this smells like? Reminds me of a fragrance none of us have ever heard of. Kobachard for women. And they gave it a 4.82 as well. Oh, look at this. 43 votes. Another Estée Lauder fragrance called... Oh, wait. What was the difference between this one and the last Azure? What's the difference between Azure Estée Lauder and then let's open this on a new tab and then let's look at this other one they said it reminds them of. Azure Estée Lauder. Azure Estée Lauder. What is the difference? Is this a new... Okay. Now I get it. It was reformulated. So this is a 1969 release. So this is vintage. And here's the note combo. Okay, I think this is the one I'm actually smelling, guys. The 1969 release. And I think this one is a new formulation. But it's odd. I actually... No, I'm smelling this one. I'm smelling the 2019 release of it. They must have brought it back. Because looking at these note combinations, I distinctly get the stuff that's here. And not this. I know orris. I know cyclamen. I know ylang ylang. I know aldehydes. You know, I know leather. It's in the same vein. The older one might have smelled better. I did order this from a vintage perfumer, but I think the bottle was this. I'm almost certain of it. So this is the 2019 rendition of it. Man, there's an odd beauty to this. I just don't know if I can recommend it. Okay, let's get out of here. Miles Christian Brown. All right. Anyways, guys, so this is a fragrance I like, you might hate, you might not care for, you might not see the beauty in it. This is for the beauty of perfumery. I don't know the wear case, the use case. I'm going to try to give that to you right now, but I haven't had much thought. I'm just appreciating this as a fragrance. If you're tired of smelling the same thing all the time and you want to try something very daringly different in an abstract, dark side of the moon kind of way, this is it. This is cool. Fall, winter, no question. For a green oak mossy scent, you'd think you can pull it off in the spring, summer, only if it's a cold night, like a dark, cold Batman night. You know what I'm saying? Men, I think this is truly unisex. I would even venture to say masculine leaning. Like this is for a dark gothic couple that wants a his and her type of scent. But if you're into anything that is super green, like I'm talking, immediately what comes to my mind is like Eau Sauvage from Dior. But to me, this smells better than Eau Sauvage from Dior. It's got more backbone. It's less fleeting. It's less kind of bank teller from the 80s kind of feel. This is more elegant than that. This is better than Eau Sauvage from Dior, but my update to this is Linsumi from Lalique. Lalique's way safer and more mass appealing than this. Like, if you like stuff in the realm of Eau Sauvage from Dior and Linsumi from Lalique and just greens, maybe Creed's original vetiver, old original batch. It's just something super green and mossy and earthy, but dark and has a fresh brush up top. Old money kind of fragrance. Man, this has got to go in the books as a classic to me. Because I feel like Eau Sauvage from Dior is like the pinnacle of that green old money smell from the past. But I would have wore this way before I put that on. But then I would wear Linsumi way more than this today. But I would run this back if I was in a graveyard, if I was playing in a... This is like a Wednesday Addams type of scent. You know what I'm saying? It's got a very gothic feel to it because it's not anything you're used to smelling. This is if you were outside in the woods, in a forest, trapped by moss and trees and lush greenery, and then someone appeared in the darkness right at sunset. They would smell like this. So there's this weird dark beauty to it, a cleanliness, a soapiness, a super green, piney mossiness to it. I'm making love to the track because there's something to this. But man, my everyday people wearing designer and all that, guys, it ain't going to be you. Like if you smell Eau Sauvage from Dior and you're like, whoa, Lin Sumi would feel like the modern Happy Meal version of this, which is crazy because that's a classic masterpiece to me. But after smelling this, this is the grandfather of that scent profile. And then that grandfather's son was Eau Sauvage from Dior. And then Dior's son was Lin Sumi. That's kind of the progression. So you got to go deep and dark to get to this, especially as a women's scent. But there's an elegance to this that I really like. I would rock this just to see what it did for my mood. On skin, it gets a little bit less good to me because it smells best on test strip. I don't want to spray it because it's going to fill this room. Sprays on this, I think it could be nuclear, so just watch out. What are they saying is the performance? Fall, winter for sure. Nightlife cold if you wear it around season. They do say it's very strong and long lasting to eternal. So I wouldn't go more than 3-4 sprays of something like this. I might even try to get some level of sweetness or more freshness in this. Like, you know what I would do? Here's what I would do. I would put one spray of this on and then surround it in Lin Sumi. Just to give Lin Sumi a little more backbone than wateriness. That would be a cool vibe. You know what? Screw it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a bottle of Azurée from Estée Lauder for women. It's just got to be done. Very unique scent. I wish I could give you guys more practical info. For me, in my personal taste, I give it an 8, but the strongest 8 ever. Like almost a 9 if I could decimal it. But the use case for wearing a scent like this would be very difficult unless you were just a odd person, more abstract person, you know, like if I went into a tattoo parlor or a plant shop or it does have a soapy greenness to it. So wherever you might want to smell like that, might wear it out golfing. I don't know. I'm really reaching here, guys, because I would just wear this scent in my office for a vibe, but I might actually take it out on a dark night somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not seductive. This is a character piece. This is a facet of who I am, you know, that you would never get to. But if you could smell it and try to put it to words, this is what you would get type of feel. I hope this was helpful. I know this was just as abstract of a review as it was for an abstract fragrance. I don't know if you should buy this fragrance, but it's SB approved to SB. It's not SB approved to the world. So tread with caution moving into this fragrance. The very select few people who have chose to go off the beaten path into darkness and never return to try this have given it a 4.2 out of 5. So keep that with a grain of salt. Look at the note breakdown. I might even want to get my hands on the vintage 60s bottle because it has even more notes. So where the heck they could have taken that? This might even be a simple version of, you know what this smells like? In the same way, Roja's Diaghilev is a baby to Mitsuko. This Azure is a baby to the other Mitsuko or the other Azure probably. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on the notification bell. It's a real treat to come across fragrances like this because it might not necessarily be something you'd buy unless it's very particular and what I said resonated with you. But it's great in perfumery where you're used to just the same everyday stuff to come across another work of art that's nothing like anything you've ever smelled before. So that was a treat, as you guys can see. If I talk long on a review, it's because there's some draw there. So 20 minutes in, I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week. Ask away in the comment section. If you've put your nose to this, I want to know. And do you have it? Strap up. I'm giving you guys the intro on the outro. I might need to take a nap, guys. Y'all be blessed. Peace.